everyone, my name is Eric Consiglio with Loesel-Schaaf Insurance, and I'd like to welcome you to the open enrollment video for the Diocese of Erie 2025. Now before I dive in and share with you what's new for 2025, I just want to remind you guys that our agency works with the diocese to help them manage the health insurance plan that they offer. So if you have questions, concerns, or problems related to the health insurance, please, as always, reach out to us. We are here to help. All right, with that said, let's dive in. What do you need to know for 2025? Well, the first thing we want to draw your attention to is the fact that the diocese has made the decision to leave Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield and move the health insurance to Meritain as of January 1st. Now, Meritain is an Aetna-owned company, and that's why you're seeing that Meritain/Aetna on the first bullet. Now, upon this change, I want to highlight the fact that the copays and the deductibles are remaining the same. We're going to also be adding some new benefits that you don't have currently. And you'll no longer have the big network, smaller network option that you do with Highmark. So right now with Highmark, you have the option of electing the big network, which is called PPO Blue, or the smaller network, which is called Community Blue. With Meritain, we're going to be using Aetna's largest network, so everybody's going to have the same access, the same plan. The pharmacy is going to be remaining the same. It's going to stay with Lavinity, formerly Southern Scripts, so nothing new there, nothing we need to highlight. Everybody should have their member guide. The member guide goes into further description on the benefits offered, and it's also going to highlight all the information that we're about to review in today's video. All right, so what do you need to know upon this change to Meritain? Well, here are the players for the health insurance plan. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have the organizations that basically make sure that the health plan run the way it's supposed to run. So we have Meritain Health, which is, again, an Aetna-owned company. They are a third-party administrator, which is just insurance speak for they process the claims, and they're basically the engine that makes sure the health plan works the way it's supposed to work. So right now, when you go to the doctor or the doctor and hospital bill Highmark. Highmark processes the claim, they make sure it's legit, so on and so forth. As of January, that's going to be Meritain's role to do. Now, Meritain, being that it is owned by Aetna, we will be tapping in to the Aetna network for the insurance plan. So when somebody says, well, what is your insurance network? It's going to be Aetna, which is a very large national network. We'll talk about that on the next slide. The pharmacy, as mentioned, it's going to remain with Lavinity, so nothing new there to highlight. On the right-hand side of the screen, Regenix, On Point Integrative Medicine, the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program. These are the new benefits that we're going to be introducing to the health plan, and we're going to talk more about those as we go along. But before we talk about those, let's talk about this Meritain health plan and the network that you're going to have access to. So the network is Aetna's Choice Point of Service 2 network. This is their largest network. It is a very big, broad national network. It includes all the hospitals in Pennsylvania. So yes, you can go to UPMC. Yes, you can go to Allegheny Health Network. Yes, you can go to all the independent hospitals like Meadville Medical Center, Mill Creek Community, Clarion Hospital, Warren General, so on and so forth. And all the doctors that work for those hospitals, they will be obviously part of the network as well. Okay. It's a large network nationwide, as I mentioned, so you can go to the Cleveland Clinic, you can go to University Health Systems, you can go to S.A. Anderson down in Texas, you can go to the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, so on and so forth. There should be very little disruption between the Highmark network that you have today and the Aetna network that you're going to as of January 1st. Saying that, we always do recommend that you check with the provider before going for care to make sure that they are participating in the Choice Point of Service 2 network. And you can actually look these doctors up online through the Meritain portal. How to do that can be found in the member guide. Now ID cards, here's your current situation. You have one for the medical plan for Highmark, and you have one for the pharmacy plan through Livinity, formerly Southern Scripps. As of January 1st, your new ID card will be combined into one. So this is what your ID card is going to look like. It's going to have the Meritain logo up here, the Aetna logo right there, also the Diocese logo, as well as Livinity's information and their logo down here. The ID card is going to list your name, and then it's going to list everybody else that's insured under the health plan. So, if you are insuring a family, you're going to get a set of ID cards, but your name's going to be listed first with all the dependents listed below you. All right, here is the health plan. So it's a PPO, Preferred Provider Organization, which is just a fancy way of saying there are benefits when you go to the doctors and hospitals that are in-network, participating providers. And there's a level of benefits when you go to doctors and hospitals that are out-of-network or non-participating providers. Let's talk about the participating providers, the in-network level benefits first. As I mentioned, the benefits as it relates to what you pay when you go to the doctor, the ER, the urgent care facility, your deductible amount, those are all remaining the same. So going to the family doctor is going to continue to cost you a $25 copay. Going to a specialist is going to continue to cost you a $40 copay. One new benefit is that counseling and therapy for mental health is going to be covered at the $25 copay. Currently, that benefit goes towards your $600 deductible. As of January 1st, the diocese is enhancing this benefit, and it'll now just be covered with a copay. Hospital services, surgical services, inpatient, outpatient, diagnostic services such as MRIs, CAT scans, lab work, all those services are applicable to your deductible like they are today. And again, that deductible is the same amount of $600. Now, the two new benefits that we're offering, Regenix/On-Point Integrative Medicine and the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program, are covered at 100%. And I want to point out here, they're covered at 100%, no deductible, no copays. So when you go to the doctors at Regenix or On Point, you don't have to pay a copay for your visit. You don't have to pay anything towards your deductible. The same holds true for anything that falls under the umbrella for the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program. If you do go to a non-participating provider, a doctor or hospital that is not part of the network, you still have coverage, but you have to pay more out of your pocket for that care. And that is listed in this column right here. Okay, so again, same plan design set up as it is today. Pharmacy, staying the same. Remember, it's with Livinity, formerly Southern Scripps. Copay amounts are remaining the same. Nothing new there. Just wanted to kind of highlight this. All right, let's talk about those new benefits because this is the stuff that probably are interested in hearing more of. Okay, Regenix and On-Point Integrative Medicine. What is this benefit all about? Well, these are doctors that specialize in what's called regenerative medicine. Regenerative medicine is all about getting your body back to, correct use, if you will, right? Using the own properties of your body. And they do that with stem cells and blood platelets, right? So they're going to help treat your conditions either with your own stem cells or your own platelets. And these procedures are non-surgical and they're designed to avoid orthopedic surgeries. This is completely voluntary. You don't have to use this benefit, but it is a great alternative to going down the surgery route, and you may be able to avoid surgery altogether or perhaps prolong it for, a different time down the road, 5-10 years down the road. The great thing about this benefit is not only is it now being covered, which as a footnote, 99% of health insurance plans out there do not cover stem cell and platelet treatments for non-orthopedic procedures. Not only is it covered under your health plan, it's going to be covered at 100%. As I mentioned earlier, no deductible, no copays. So if we look at this little body chart here, right? The body has ligaments and tendons that connect everything and hold everything together, and you have joints. And eventually, you're going to have problems in those areas, whether it's because of wear and tear due to the aging process or being a weekend warrior and, just hurting your body. Well, if you're one that's been struggling with any of these things that are bulleted, you probably are heading down the road of needing orthopedic surgery, or maybe you're going to a lot of physical therapy and trying to fix the problem, or perhaps you're on pain meds masking the problem but just making yourself feel better, right? Well, we encourage you to try the doctors at Regenix or On Point Integrative Medicine and seeing if you're a candidate for stem cell or platelet treatment to fix the problem area. I'm going to use myself as an example because this happened to me. Years ago, I tore my right meniscus. And if you look down at the knee section right here, as you can see, tears in the meniscus, PRP and stem cell can help. So I tore my left meniscus, went to the doctor, he sent me to the orthopedic. I had my knee scoped, which is a surgery, right? And when they scope your knee, they cut out the torn cartilage and it fixes the problem. But as you age, you could develop arthritis, so on and so forth, because you just took out some of your cartilage between your two bones, right, of your leg. Fast forward a few years later, I tore my right meniscus. Now, instead of going to the orthopedic to get my right knee scoped, I did some research and found that doctors were having success with meniscus tears using platelet treatments. So I went to a local doctor here in Erie. Actually, he's the one at On Point Integrative Medicine, and he did the platelet-rich plasma treatment on my right knee for the meniscus tear, and it worked great. I avoided surgery. I healed up quicker. I have all my cartilage in my knee. The only downside of that was I had to pay for it out of my own pocket, which was about $3,500 because my insurance plan didn't cover it. Again, 99% of insurance plans out there don't cover these types of procedures. The Diocese plan now will. So I highly encourage you, if you've been struggling with any of these tendon, joint, ligament issues, give them a chance. Call Regenix, call On Point Integrative Medicine, schedule a consult with them. It's not going to cost you anything because remember the copays are waived. And if they think you're a good candidate, why not try it? Because if, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, it's not like you had an unnecessary surgery. It was just, a procedure where they're using your own stem cells and your own platelets. And, if it didn't work, it didn't work. No harm, no foul. But it wasn't like they operated on you or stuck hardware in your body to fix the problem. So again, new benefit, highly recommend it. Give them a call, check them out. All the information, as noted earlier, is in the member guide. Okay, the next benefit, the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program. This is a really awesome benefit that's being added to your health insurance plan. And before I get into how this benefit works, I want to really emphasize the fact that you have access to the Cleveland Clinic under the Meritain Health Plan because the Aetna network is what is being utilized and the Cleveland Clinic is part of the Aetna network. This is a separate program that lays on top of the Meritain Health Plan. Okay, so the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program is designed to be a second opinion program from the Cleveland Clinic where you can get that opinion without having to travel up to the clinic. And it applies to certain procedures. Non-emergent procedures, which are surgeries, linked to certain orthopedics, certain spine, certain cardiac procedures. Okay, now here's just a sampling of a few of those procedures that fall under the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program. In addition, 3 cancers fall under this program as well: breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer. Now, if you've been diagnosed with breast cancer, or you've been diagnosed as needing a hip replacement or needing spinal fusion surgery, right? You didn't just decide that. You went to a doctor and that doctor determined that. But these are pretty big procedures, pretty invasive, right? And if you have cancer, obviously extremely life-threatening. And wouldn't it be great to get a second opinion from one of the best institutes in the country without having to go up there? So you can do that. You can call your healthcare advocate. They're going to have you sign a HIPAA form, so this way they can get your medical records from your treating physician up to the Cleveland Clinic. Their specialists will review those records, come back to you with their findings. So let's pretend you've been told you do need that back surgery, that you need the spinal surgery. Maybe it needs to be fused, right? You're like, boy, that's a pretty big procedure. I know a lot of people that go into back surgery and they come out worse than they went going in. Want to make sure I really need it. Hey, my health insurance plan has this great benefit where I can get an opinion from the Cleveland Clinic without even going there. So I call my healthcare advocate. They get the records transferred up there. The Cleveland Clinic reviews it. They come back with their findings. Let's pretend they agree that, yep, you do need spinal surgery. You need that fusion. Well, now you have a choice. You could decide to have it done with your local doctor, or you could go to the Cleveland Clinic. Now, I would say that going to the Cleveland Clinic would be a great benefit because I think we all know how great of a facility that hospital is and how awesome their outcomes are. And what will help with this is if you do go there for that service, it's all covered at 100%. No deductible, no copays. So everything's covered in full. In addition to that, you will get an allowance put on a preloaded gift card to cover the gas associated with going to and from the Cleveland Clinic. It'll have a dollar amount on there for a food voucher. And it'll also cover the lodging. So let's say you do go up there for that back surgery. You're going to be up there, maybe inpatient for a day or two, right? You're probably going to have a loved one go up there with you. Hopefully somebody loves you enough to go up there while you have a surgery. Well, where's that loved one going to stay? Well, they're going to stay at a hotel right on the campus at the Cleveland Clinic. And the healthcare advocate is going to coordinate all this. And this is all going to be covered inside the benefits of the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program. Anytime you are using the Centers of Excellence program, everything's covered in full, including travel expenses and lodging expenses, right? So you don't pay anything for that service. And all you need to do is call your healthcare advocate to get things moving. Now, this is not a complete list of what falls under ortho, spine, and cardiac as it relates to surgeries that are inside the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program. This is just a sampling of some. What I would suggest is anytime you have a surgery that's being posed to you for ortho, spine, or cardiac, give the healthcare advocate a call. They'll let you know if that qualifies under the Centers of Excellence program, and if so, they'll get your medical records and you'll start the process. So it's a really, really awesome benefit, and what we're trying to do is make it easier and more user-friendly, if you will, to get to the Cleveland Clinic, because we know it can be a little bit of a challenge trying to navigate that system and get in with the doctors inside that hospital. Okay. Open enrollment. It's going to begin on October 28th. It's going to last to November 15th. This is your opportunity to enroll in the health plan if you are not already enrolled, or make changes to how you are insured. Maybe you want to add a dependent, take a dependent off, or perhaps cancel the health insurance because you're going to go on your spouse's insurance. If you want to be insured in 2025 the same way you are insured in 2024, you don't need to do anything. You'll automatically renew and be enrolled in the Meritain Health Plan. If you do want to make a change, see your local human resource representative and they'll help you with the paperwork that is necessary. All right, takeaways from this video. Obviously, I think everybody's aware that we're going to be leaving Highmark and going to Meritain/Aetna for the medical benefits. Remember, pharmacies remain the same. You're going to get one ID card that's going to encompass the pharmacy and the medical benefits. We added on-point integrative medicine and Regenix via the stem cell and PRP treatments at no cost to you. We've added the Cleveland Clinic Centers of Excellence program at no cost to you. Again, remember, you have access to the Cleveland Clinic for anything. That Centers of Excellence program is on top for cardiac, spine, orthopedic, as well as those three cancers. You should be getting your ID card in well advance of January 1st. So they'll come to you probably mid-December. Keep an eye out in your mail for that. If you have a procedure coming up, make sure that the doctor knows that your insurance is changing in 2025 to this. This way they use that information. And we just make sure that you confirm with the provider before going there that they do participate with the Aetna network. All right, guys, thanks so much for your time. I'm going to sign off now because the landscapers are outside my window and they just powered up the tools. All right, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please feel free to reach out to us, myself or Kathy Fisher. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.